Soon, Kathleen would discover Hunter had cheated on her with dozens of women.
You said you learned that there wasn't one Hunter or two Hunters, but there were many.
Right, well, don't smoke crack. Divorce is not just the couple. It's not just the kids.
No.
It's the whole family. We were very, very close, all of us.
Yeah.
And it was painful for a long time.
That was Hunter Biden's ex-wife, Kathleen Buhle, who spoke to CBS Morning about how utterly painful her divorce from Hunter Biden was, not just for her, but for the whole family, of course. And the interview was part of her book tour about her relationship with Hunter and the Biden family overall. And allegedly, they've been pretty cruel to her as a result of that interview, of the fact that she put out a book that had details about that marriage that fell apart as a result of Hunter Biden's addiction to crack, as she put it in that interview. Now Axios is reporting that the Biden family's treatment of Hunter's ex-wife is discouraging her from campaigning on behalf of Joe Biden.
DRAMZ, significant DRAMZ. I don't know if any of this story is true. Some of it I think is almost certainly true.
It.
So there might be a second secret reason why this story leaked. Double DRAMZ.
Oh my God.
We're gonna get to that in a second, let alone the way that Hunter cheated was unbelievable.
It was bad.
Okay, we're gonna get into that.
No, let's get into that right now.
Okay, I do have to confess that we do have a free Hunter t-shirt at shoptyt.com.
I don't care,
okay.
Right? Like, anyway, listen, he was in the throes of addiction and cheated on his wife with many different women. But the worst was when he cheated with his late brother's wife, widow.
Yeah, that's just disaster. Like, it doesn't get any worse than that. So Beau Biden, of course, the hero of the family, a veteran. In fact, that's, we think, probably how he got cancer in the first place, from the Gulf War, etc. And was working in politics, beloved. Then he passes away, and Hunter is like the black sheep of the family. And then Beau's widow and Hunter hook up while Hunter's still married.
It's devastating. And look, it's terrible, and I don't allow it, okay, for whatever that's worth. But who knows how people react to extreme tragedy?
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, look, guys, it's devastating because you can all feel it viscerally, right?
Yeah.
At the same time, it's none of our business.
I agree.
Right?
Yes.
The only way that it becomes our business, and Hunter's not even a politician, and the Republicans have dragged him into all of this, and hence the free Hunter t-shirt. But the reason it's our business now is because now it's affecting politics, because if the Obamas aren't campaigning for Biden, or at least Michelle Obama not campaigning Biden because of all the drama created by Hunter Biden, then it does become relevant. Like I said, I do have a second secret theory, but more on this.
Yes, so I want to make sure that we differentiate Barack Obama from Michelle Obama, because Barack Obama has been doing some campaigning on behalf of Joe Biden. However, you have not seen Michelle Obama promoting Joe Biden. She's not on the campaign trail. She isn't even posting on X in support of Joe Biden. And apparently it's because Michelle Obama, according to reporting from Axios, this is what they're claiming, Michelle Obama and Hunter Biden's ex-wife, Kathleen Buhle, became very close friends during Obama's presidency. Okay, so Michelle privately told others that she felt Buhle had been wronged by the Bidens. Apparently they had been incredibly cruel to her after she had come out with her side of the story and what she went through as a result of that marriage and divorce. Buhle had to deal with Hunter's drug use and infidelity, and then the Biden family members blamed her for some of the salacious details of his behavior becoming public. However, I just want to remind you all that, she wrote her book only after Hunter Biden published his own, which included very intimate details about their marriage and his addictions.
Yeah.
So Michelle appears to mention Buhle in her 2022 book, The Light We Carry, writing, quote, "My friend Kathleen and I keep regular morning dates to walk by the river." No, they're besties. That's what I used to do with my bestie when we lived closer. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't spend every morning with a woman unless that's your bestie.
Yeah, I hear you. And either way, bestie or not, they're very, very close. And so we get it. On the other hand, Anna, you could relate to the Biden family not reacting well to someone torpedoing him in a book where they just lay out all the private details. Now, this is a unique situation because she was so wronged that you also can relate to the strike back, right? So it's just a hot mess in terms of what's happening there on a private, personal level, right?
Listen, if he's gonna publish a book with painful details without considering how that made Kathleen Buhle feel, then no holds barred.
Yeah,
She's
that's
free to
the
do,
strike back. Yeah. So, and then remember, this is not the only time the Bidens have been accused, because Biden's like Mr. Family Man, right? And he's always talking about his kids and his kids that passed away and stuff, and it always breaks our heart, right? And that's what he's known for. But recently there was another scandal where they were ignoring another Hunter Biden daughter. He has Navy Joan Roberts with London Roberts, and so they wouldn't count her as one of the grandchildren.
Oh, it's so devastating.
And so when they were outed on that, then all of a sudden they're like, oh yeah, we love Navy, and they started bringing her into the family. So
yeah, I'm not.
But God, I hate that this is even an issue, because what I care about is, yes, but did you pass paid family leave or didn't you? By the way, he didn't. Okay, we should be talking about policy, but this affects who's going to win, because Michelle Obama is a powerhouse. She's one of the most popular people associated with politics in the whole country. So if she's not out campaigning. Now, by the way, there's always different rules for different people, right? So let's note the hypocrisy here. If Bernie Sanders said, I got a personal issue with the Bidens, I'm not gonna campaign for him, they would shred him to pieces. Everyone on cable news would say, what a terrible guy, letting personal feelings get in the way of the Democratic Party winning. I can't believe what a terrible person he is.
Well,
when Michelle Obama does it, they're gonna be like, bravo.
Because everyone loves Michelle Obama, right? It's not gonna work with Michelle Obama, right? People are not gonna take kindly to the Bidens attempting to trash Michelle Obama because she's not a foot soldier for the Bidens or for Joe Biden in
I'm just
election.
noting the hypocrisy.
No, okay, I totally get it, but this story made me like Michelle Obama more. Okay, and it's not because of my contempt for Biden due to what he's allowing Israel to do in Gaza, and I do feel contempt. I'm gonna be honest with you about that. It has to do with the fact that Michelle Obama's a real person, and she's willing to put her friendship above politics. And you know how I feel about that. Like Cenk and I are just deeply loyal people to like our friends, to our loved ones. It takes a lot for me to badmouth someone that I'm, that I'm close to, that I have loyalty to. And it shows that Michelle Obama feels the same way, right? Like, okay, so I'll give you another example that proves that they're obviously very close. When Buhle published her own memoir back in 2022, she used Michelle Obama's publisher, and several of Michelle's former communications aides were hired to coordinate the book's rollout.
Yep.
Damn.
Yeah, no, I get it, and that's why it's enormously possible and likely that this is the real reason. And sometimes when people have something that's personal, like you were super mean or unfair to a friend of mine, well, now I know what your character is, and I'm not gonna help you, okay? And if that's the real reason, then I respect that. And again, it would never be respected if a progressive did it. But okay, fine, I'm consistent. Look, guys, politics is super dirty. And so, not the Obamas, but in a very similar situation, same level family. I know a story that was told to me in confidence that I can't say, but you would be shocked at how dirty it is. And even despite all that you've heard on the Young Turks. And so sometimes it is not what meets the eye. And it is impossible that they're mad that Biden ran and Michelle couldn't. And so Michelle's like, I'm not gonna campaign for that idiot who shouldn't have run and who's gonna lose to Trump, etc.
You think Michelle wants to run?
No, I don't, but I'm not sure, right?
I don't think she does.
Look, I don't think so. I don't think she wants to run, and I think your theory is much more likely to be true, okay? But I'm telling you that I know politicians, and sometimes it isn't. Sometimes this is all a front for why she actually doesn't want to help him. And the only thing that makes me think that that side even has a chance is that it got leaked. Why? Why is she leaking that she's got a personal problem with the Bidens? Do you see what I'm saying? I'm not sure that anybody would have even noticed that Michelle Obama isn't campaigning for
We
her.
don't know who leaked what.
Yeah, that's another fair
so
point.
don't make that assumption. I don't know.
By the way, maybe the Bidens leaked it to throw her under the bus.
Probably. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised, and that's a possibility. We don't know for sure. What we do know is that behind the scenes, there's a bit of a pressure campaign to get Michelle Obama out on the campaign trail because she is very popular with the Democratic voters in this country. So according to Axios, White House aide Anita Dunn and top Michelle Obama aide Melissa Winter recently had lunch. They were lunching and thinking about ways of how they can get Michelle Obama involved in the campaigning for Joe Biden.
Yeah, it's not gonna make a difference anyway. Look, even though she's very popular, like this, the way that the Democrats campaign is useless. So Trump will go out there and do a wild speech that'll get a lot of it to press attention because he said crazy stuff in it, but at least it'll get attention to some of his policies, right? Oh, I'm against immigrants, so he'll say like he wants to murder them or some insane thing like that, right? And then people will be like, oh, I get it, Trump is anti-immigrant and it's the country's in an anti-immigrant mood. It's a super blunt instrument, but unfortunately it works. Whereas the Democrats will have like official events, well, they'll do ribbon cutting and things that, and hope to get in the local news. That's like 1990s crap that doesn't work at all.
I know, they're stuck in the past for sure.
Yeah, and Michelle Obama has the worst political strategy of all time. She's the one that said, when they go low, we go high. Oops, disaster. So if she's gonna stay high and she's just gonna make highfalutin comments, it's not gonna affect the race 1% anyway, and that's who she is. And by the way, in a good way too. Like I like her.
I like that. I know, and I agree with your analysis. It's not particularly helpful in a political setting, considering the era we're in. But on a personal level, this story made me like Michelle Obama. I already liked her, but this made me like her more. Right?
Yeah, I don't care about her at all. I think she's American royalty, and American royalty drives me crazy. I like, oh wow, she's the wife, the husband, the daughter, the son. I don't care. Did that person do something? Now Michelle Obama is super smart. She's really well accomplished attorney in her own right. If we want to have a conversation about that, great. If she's not in politics and I meet her and she's a lovely person, great. And all of that is wonderful, right? But she's not good at politics. This whole going high stuff sucks. And I don't care that she's the wife of the former president. That doesn't interest me at all.
It doesn't seem like she really wants to be involved in politics. Okay, so again, I'm not talking about it in a political context. I'm talking about her on a personal level. And on a personal level, I just respect people who are good to their friends and their loved ones.
God bless. Yeah, totally agree with that.
A lot of not so nice people out there who will turn their backs on their friends in a freaking heartbeat, and it disgusts me. So.
Hey, thanks for watching that video. We really appreciate it, guys. And we appreciate it if you become members because that allows us to be independent, honest, progressive, all the things that you don't get from corporate media. And all of that is because of you guys. Hit the join button below and become one of us, become a Young Turk.